Have you ever pulled up to a shoot, triple checking your bag, hoping and praying that you didn't forget any equipment? Have you ever smiled and nodded at the client while your stomach turned because you hope you brought the right mic? Have you ever technically delivered, but you left that job knowing that you didn't do your absolute best? Well, if that's happened to you, it's probably because you haven't defined a niche. And today, I'm going to teach you why you haven't chosen one yet, and I'm also going to show you how to choose it. My first few projects working as a videographer were a social media contract, a wedding, and an event. All three of those opportunities that I got, I was very grateful for them, but I felt like I was on my heels the entire time. I was running around checking cameras, running around checking mics, trying to make sure that I had my footage correct, trying to make sure that I didn't miss anything on the program. I was just all over the place. And the problem wasn't that I wasn't good at videography. The problem wasn't that I didn't have the right equipment. The problem was I hadn't chosen a niche yet. See, I felt like if I chose a niche, I would limit myself to the amount of money that I could make. And I couldn't afford to do that because I just quit my job. Because I didn't want to limit myself, I stretched myself to be able to cover a range of things. When people found out that I was a videographer, they would ask me, "Oh, nice. So are you able to do weddings?" I'm like, "Yep." "Are you able to do birthday parties?" I'm like, "Yep." All of these things they're asking me to do, and I'm telling them, yep, I can do those things. I was a jack of all trades, a master of none, and because of that, I spent unnecessary money and I missed opportunities that I otherwise would have gotten. So if this sounds like you, we've got some work to do. Your problem is you're saying yes to every type of client and it feels like a gamble. And you're losing opportunities because you're going wide instead of deep. You're losing opportunities going wide because if you want to buy equipment, you're going to spend money on sliders. You're going to spend money on hangers for the wedding. You're going to spend money on gimbals. You're going to spend money on glide cams. You're going to spend money on large Pelican cases for travel. You're going to spend money on Gorilla Pods. You're going to spend money on aperture lighting. You're going to spend money on all of these things just to help you cover a range of jobs when you only need a few things and you can rent everything else. If you could see my garage 6 months ago, you would see tons of film equipment, stuff that I haven't used in years because I bought it when I didn't have a niche. And that's what not choosing a niche does to you. It causes you to waste and you spend all of your money on all of these tools, and now when you need specialty tools or specialty gear, you're thinking twice about it now because you've already spent money on a $3,000 Rhino slider and you're not able to get anything else, or you bought an extra camera body and you need a lens now. You need a 70 to 200, but you've been waiting and waiting and putting it off and putting it off before you bought it. Why? Because you spent $3,500 on a new camera body instead of $1,500 on a lens that you needed. Choosing a niche gives you the benefit of being able to have specialized equipment for exactly what you need when you need it. When you have that specialized equipment in that kit, you have the least amount of tools to do the job necessary. And when you spend less money on equipment, but you make the same amount of money, you come up with more profit. That's the money left over after everybody's paid. But the really cool thing about choosing a niche is that people feel special when you are the only one that does something. Or people feel special when the only thing you do is one thing. For example, if you needed eye surgery, would you want to go to your primary care doctor or would you want to go to an ophthalmologist for surgery? 9 times out of 10, you're going to go to that eye surgeon who specializes in that. And guess what? Do you think that you'll have to pay more for the eye surgeon or would you have to pay more for the general care doctor, the primary care doctor? Naturally, the eye doctor would cost more because they are more specialized. They cost more So, do you want to not go with them and just go with your primary care doctor to do surgery on your eye? No. So, it doesn't matter that it costs more to get the specialized work done. You want someone that specializes in that because that your problem is that important. That's how niching works everywhere. My team offers same day and next day turnaround on content. If someone knows about us and they need a really quick turnaround that's high quality, they're going to call us because we specialize in that. Are we more expensive? Yes, we are. But they are going to pay because that solves the problem that they need. And that's how you make more money with a niche. If you're a general practitioner, you may end up being passed over by one of your clients for something that you know that you can do, but they hire someone else that specializes at that thing because they trust them more. And you may be better suited to do it, but because you haven't chosen one thing, they're going to choose that other person. Now let's get into how to choose a niche. So the first thing you want to do with choosing a niche is you want to make a list of your last 10 projects. All right, so of your last 10 projects, which ones did you love? How many of those did you love? How many of those did you make the most money on? And which ones did you hate? Like, you really don't like doing it. You just did it because the money was right, but you don't like it. So I want you to list those out. Next thing I want you to do is I want you to never do the ones that you hate again. Leave them alone. And we're going to look at the ones that you love and the ones that you made money at. Now, I'm going to explain something to you because you might be someone who's just getting started and you are just working as the work comes. And you don't want to niche down because you're not getting a lot of leads right now. The reason why you're having trouble choosing a niche is because you've got projects split. You've got several different projects and you haven't done any one of those projects 50 times. Some of the projects 4 or 5 times, some of the projects 3 times, one of the projects 12 times, one of the projects X amount of times. So you might not be sure what you want to choose. My recommendation is for you to start with the things that make money. And then you're going to choose one of those projects and you're going to go and try and do as many of them as you can. Now, this next part you're not going to agree with, but I want you to try it. I want you to reach out to 10 people via DM and ask them if you can do this thing for them. Let's say it's an event, you find out some events that are going on and reach out to those people and find out, hey, can I come and do your event for free? Here's why. And you don't have to produce the entire event. You can just go there and give them a sample, a deliverable. You can give them a recap video or you can give them raw footage. But you need to get as many reps at these things as possible as soon as possible. And doing free work, in my experience, has been the best way to do that. Now, when you go and do the free work, as a side note, make sure you get a testimonial from those clients. That way, you'll have social proof that you can share with future clients in the same arena. Try and do as many of those projects as you can, just one particular type of project. That project is going to tell you whether or not that's something that you should continue in. Okay? If you start to not really like it, then that's probably not the thing for you. Go to the next type of project and do that. Once you decide on your niche, everything you have should reflect that. Your social media page should reflect it. Your website, if you have one, should reflect it. Everything should reflect that particular niche. Does that mean that you have to turn down other jobs that you might get an opportunity for? No, you don't have to turn down those jobs, but you're not advertising yourself as someone that does those things. If someone says, hey, can you do this wedding for me? And the wedding won't be a problem for you to do, then and you want to get that gig, by all means, do your thing. But don't advertise doing weddings and events and birthdays and dentists and all of these other things. Just choose one thing that's going to get you the most money. That is all that I have for today. I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. I love y'all.